Alright then, I'm ready to start with Malaya if everyone's here.
Hello, yeah, let's go.
Hi, were you playing one shot? I forget, are you on Cascadia?
I'm on Cascadia, but I skipped the last hour and something of the session.
Oh, I see, but you can still give
So it
us a
was,
little bit of an input of what your overlord is doing.
yes, hopefully without spilling the blue.
Hopefully. Alright, so Malaya making a chunky bit of cash. He's not the number one income in the world. He does have the ability to go naval hegemon, which means he has more heavies, unsurprisingly, than GB, Spain, and Portugal. I think is GB the top one income?
I think it's Mughals, actually.
GB is at 800.
Mughals are at 1100.
Okay, yeah, I should open Scander. Give me one sec. So I can look at this stuff easier. Right, so not quite the highest, but for the size of his country and uh, seeing that he already built everything up and that he doesn't have to maintain an army, pretty decent income, and it's like letting him wield a lot of influence around the world by like subsidizing a bunch of countries. He was subsidizing, well, I don't know if that's public knowledge yet, but yeah, he's subsidizing Austria at the moment. Well, he was. He's subsidizing Switzerland. He's subsidizing France. Just like
He sent me some money too.
yeah, so just like playing the global game a lot, just by wielding his income around. And even though it deceptively doesn't look like it's as much as the others, again, he doesn't really have to maintain an army, so he has a lot of disposable income. As far as his buildings go, looks like he has manufactories almost everywhere. He has a bunch of unbuilt ones actually. Where are these? Why am I not seeing these on the map? He has a couple on tropical wood that he should probably be building, and then soldiers' households, important ones like grain. I think fish also gives bonuses, so you want the one on gold as well. So yeah, some buildings that he hasn't built yet, which he should probably fix before spending all of his money abroad. Force limit buildings everywhere that he should build up. Yeah,
The
he's
manufacturer is probably because he built all the money ones and not
yeah, but
manpower
no,
and
he still has
timber.
open slots. Look, if it shows up on the macro builder, it means it's open slots. So let's go
Oh.
to Uzen, for example, and look. Oh, those are in Japan. I see. So yeah, but it's still like 2.2 thousand. It's significant, and furthermore, he can build training fields everywhere for a lot of manpower. His army is very weak right now, but I think if he built up his nation properly, he could probably be a lot stronger. Dev-wise, he hasn't really done much by the looks of it, so I think he might be overextending a little bit. But again, the game's a bit weird because of like the two mega powers of Muggles and PLC. But I think like normally the investments he's making right now are probably not as worth as deving all these provinces. Seeing as all of these are very good trade goods for the most part. Like he has a lot of spice provinces that he hasn't deved. Um, yeah, just a lot more improvements that could be made at home rather than investing all that money abroad.
Can you show his generals and
He's
admirals?
His
he's not running
admirals are
level
really
5
good.
advisors
He
either.
has 6/6 admirals. Well, 6/6. One of them is 6/6. The other one is 5/6. So very good admirals. He has almost no army tradition, so his generals are going to be trash. He also hasn't finished offensive, so yeah, his generals are going to be complete trash. He's gone full naval, but yeah, he's never going to lose a battle at sea. But he could wield a lot more power land-wise than he is right now. But I don't know if it's worth it going for that at the moment because he's so far behind on land. But yeah, should be running level 5 advisors definitely because again he has the money to spare, and I don't see why he wouldn't be. Does he have any half cost ones available? Doesn't look like it.
The trade efficiency one looks like it's about 1.8.
Yeah, that's half cost, and it's trade efficiency, which is really good. But I guess he's going for morale of navies, which I don't know if he needs. He already has pretty good morale of navies, because I don't think any other nations has gone for as many naval ideas as he has. Anyway, yeah, just get deving a little bit and building up a little more. His
What about his
crownland,
wage figures?
his crownland is at 100%, which is not very good, and he has a lot of privileges running, so he's like sort of going for absolutism, but not going at the same time. It's not a good play. So yeah, should fix your crownland. It 100% is too high. Get it to 30% and then give the rest to nobility, to emirs, so you get the bonus to manpower. Get your merchants to 70% baseline. I think you have reforms that can do that. Oh, he already has that, but yeah, I think he just picked bad policies. Yeah, you can get more from policies. His victory cards are all on China and Indochina. He doesn't own any one of them, although he can probably get the 2 and 3,000 from King, because King's dead now. It just depends on his land deal with VJ, but that would definitely push for those, because he's getting decent score per month, I think. Yeah, it's not horrible from just being Diplo rank 1, and he can also go Hegemon. So he's going to be getting a lot of score per month, and if he just gets the 2 and 3,000, he can be in the competition for top 3 just by sitting here and deving his nation. He doesn't really have to even expand much, but at the same time I think he should be expanding more aggressively, because Manchuria is empty. I don't know what Mughals is going to do, I don't know what Vij is going to do, but from the looks of it, Manchuria is empty. You can also be colonizing in Siberia, you can finish off Japan. Oh, Vij owns Japan. Really weird Asia in general. As far as his war goes, he has less heavies than the enemy, but the enemy's navy's divided up a lot. And let's see if GBR has the same quality. Yeah, they all have lower quality, which is what I was gonna assume, because GBR doesn't. He only has quality ideas that boost his morale for ships, but yeah, with these GBR ideas, I was expecting him to go Irish, but he took GBR national ideas. Quality, quantity, offensive, and then going British instead of Irish is a bit weird. Either way, I think Malaya wins the naval battle here. What's the Malaya tag again? MSA. I think he wins the naval battle here easily. It's just that he doesn't really do much else. He's sending money around, but even his income is going to become obsolete soon, because everyone else is scaling up and he's not. It just looks like one of those countries that's going to fade into obscurity in like 50-60 years, unless he starts investing at home, because again, he can just dev and build and be significantly stronger. And that's about it for Malaya. His war effort has primarily been through financing and sending ships. It looks like he finally figured out how to rotate ships in and out of battles, because at first he was losing significantly, I think, because he would just like dead stack his entire navy, and that cost him quite a bit of ships. Is that right?
That sounds right. Yeah, I think that he just took a couple bad battles early, but he can't. He can't win control of that strait. They just keep ships hidden there, and if I ever try and cross, they'll send one out and stop the crossing.
Yeah, no, fighting for Strait of Gibraltar is fighting for the win is a bad choice, but just keeping ships here to prevent the enemy from crossing is a good move. So that's what Malaya, I think, should do. He should do basically what they're doing: keep ships and prevent them from crossing, and then focus elsewhere, because this is never gonna resolve. Like, the enemy just has too many ships, you have too many ships. This is gonna last way longer than the actual land battles. Let's see if he's doing anything else interesting. He's colonizing in the Isles, or
No, it's just
he's,
incursion development.
yeah, okay.
Yeah, there's nothing more to colonize. So
Is everything in the Pacific colonized?
it's everything colonized. Only
Japan
only
has a
me-
bunch of islands. You could be taking those over, but yeah, there's not much more to colonize, I guess. So just keep your colonists at home. Yeah, fair enough. But yeah, definitely dev better. Did he fire his golden age? He has it at the moment till 98. He has a pretty bad ruler. But yeah, you have your golden age. It's not a bad time to get deving, even though it's quite late in the game, so you're not gonna get as much out of it as you would have earlier. Go for it, and also going for not going for theocracy when you're a primary uh, naval power is a bad move. Go for theocracy. You get amazing reform here, which gives you 20% national sailors, 25% national or naval force limit, and 33% chance to capture ships. The only downside from going theocracy is that it gives you slightly worse rulers than other reforms, and it gives you less government capacity. But seeing as you're such a small nation anyway, it's not a problem. Like, you're still within gov capacity, even without any of the reforms. So I would definitely go theocracy for this, and then on top of that you also get the, where is it, it's the development one. Oh, it's, oh,
I
I
think
guess it
he
got
has
nerfed. Yeah, it's
Catholic for
it's minus
the
5%.
development one.
Yeah, go for development, and then while at war you can swap and get more morale. So like theocracies are really good for countries like this, for countries that don't mean to expand into like 2 or 3,000 dev. So probably should switch to that. Alright, let's look at VJ. VJ in the same war on the side of Malaya is doing the land split. He owns these two vessels, so he owns pretty much all of Indochina at the moment is his. He just has to eat up, and I'm not sure why he hasn't, because he has a lot of admin saved up. I guess he's just been over invested elsewhere. If you don't want to go over governing capacity, which I think you should, because you have so much income, it's irrelevant. You can just vassalize this. But yeah, I would definitely finish up Siam and Burma. I don't know what your deal with Mughals is, but it seems like Siam
It's
and
it's
Burma are
his.
yours. So
Burma, Siam, and Canton are VJs. That's
why
not
wait?
hidden.
Because when you eat all of this up, you're gonna be significantly stronger. I don't see why wait. As far for ideas, quantity, econ, quality, maritime, offensive. I'm confused by maritime big time. I think that's a mistake, but it is what it is. The military ideas are good. And let's see what his army quality is like.
I heard Mamluks are using some French generals.
Are they?
Yes, they are.
Nice.
They secured the push in Africa, my man.
Insane discipline. That's pretty good. Did he get an event? I think he got an event.
It's an estate
Yes.
privilege.
Yeah, really good discipline. Pretty good morale. Although I don't know what rate. Let me check what other nations have for morale. Yeah, it's about normal, I guess.
Also, reminder VJ has great RCA.
Yeah, that's very good. So VJ doing pretty good. I don't agree with the maritime pick. Could have gone for
Trade.
trade, probably. Yeah, probably would have been a better choice. But yeah, I'm confused by what Asia's doing, because there's so much. All of this is empty now, and I don't know what Mughals is taking as his share. But
Everything.
you said Burma, Siam, and Canton on VJs. So why aren't you eating it? You know, why are you waiting?
I mean,
Oh.
he sat a lot on very high overextension because of also Africa and Hormuz for most of the session at least. So that slowed down his expansion a little, I guess.
His advisor cost is incredibly high. I'm guessing he doesn't have any modifiers on for that. He's paying a lot for advisors, a lot more than he should be.
Check the government capacity.
No,
It's 200 over, I think.
It's not significantly over. That only adds, what, 8%? Does he not have the estate privileges for advisor cost? No, he does not. That's losing a lot of money. But either way, let's look at his building, see if the money is even relevant. I mean, money's always relevant, but yeah. Money is very relevant. A lot of fucking buildings that need to be built. A lot of buildings.
He's also sending money out, I can see.
Sorry?
Subsidizing someone. Isn't he subsidizing someone?
No, he's getting subsidies from Mughals. He's subsidizing France as well, but he still has more than enough income to spare even after subsidizing France. His expenses are just ridiculous. I don't get why the advisor cost is
But France is literally dead, so I don't know
probably
why.
shouldn't be running.
Sent him.
Probably shouldn't be running +5 advisors when you have this many buildings to build, and at least his estates are good. So he gets 6.5 thousand from estates, and I was explaining this to Andrew earlier. It's 6.5 thousand on a 5-year cooldown. So if you have it at like 30%, it literally gives you. This is I think 120 monthly income. It's ridiculous how overpowered this is. So people who play estates right have an enormous advantage in this patch. But yeah, I think he needs to be focusing a little more at home because he has so many buildings that need to be built. It's ridiculous. Like primarily the manufacturers, right? But everything else too. He has so many good manufacturers left as well. Like you want to build production manufacturers on almost all of these except for like cows and grain and fish because those get bonuses from soldiers' households. Let's see what he's doing with the war. He's
Fighting a lot in
in
America.
America. He has 50k at home. He has 50k in South Africa. He has a lot of cav units. I wonder why his. I don't know if I would be keeping cav this late. Yeah, probably not the best idea to keep cav because they're just like draining more money than they should be. Fighting in America, not really involved in Europe from the look of it. Just 18k in oh, that's just DCG rebels. So yeah, not a lot of interesting stuff going on here. I definitely think these countries need to take a. He also has 3 more culture slots that he can embrace, and you know, at 4%, it doesn't seem like a lot, but when you have what 2.3 thousand dev total, or how much does he have? 2.9 thousand dev total. It's a significant amount. So yeah, these countries so far, Vijay and Malaya, need to be kind of probably looking over the save and planning out things to do, but mainly it's just building up and deving up because their dev is not very good at the moment. See the manpower. Yeah, the manpower is not very impressive for India. India is usually like everything should be over 11,000. He doesn't have manpower edicts on any of them, which at this point you should. You should just probably constantly have manpower edicts on everything, especially since we don't have the development edict in the mod. Just enable manpower on everything. The cost is negligible, and you're just gonna have a lot more manpower than you do otherwise. Yeah, that's about it for VJ.
It's kind of scary to see like these nations in Asia are already so strong and then not even anywhere close to being built up.
Yeah, then they're just not optimal at all. Like if they were optimal, both of these nations would be ridiculously strong. But the sad thing is it takes like 10 minutes to fix all that up. Like in a game, it's not even that big of a deal because they both have money to build up, and they both can dev really quickly. Let's see for Mughals. Mughals still saving his 453 general, which this late in the game I don't think he needs a 453, right? Because he can probably roll better generals on his own. Yeah. So I don't know why save that mission till this late. I guess he didn't need it earlier because he had kind of a free game. He's also saving his cav combat ability, but okay, he's still keeping cav around. So there is that. Just a ridiculous amount of professionalism. After he slackens all of that, he has 4.3 million manpower. Pretty significant. He is at extremely high crown land, which I don't understand. That is very inoptimal. Sell that shit, get some money, and get more manpower. Your manpower pool is really low for the size
Don't
of
you
your country.
need to go to 100 crown line before you start giving it to the nobles?
No, because if I seize right now, nobles are gonna have 5, and these 2 are gonna have 0. So if he sells now and then seizes in 62, it's fixed, and then just keeps selling and seizing on on in intervals, because you want to keep seizing as well while you're selling, so you can sell more times and get more money. And also, if you just dev, you can get rid of this 4% pretty easily, I'm sure. And he does need to dev a lot because half of his country is still garbage land. But even though it's garbage land, he has 3.3 thousand dev. So his country should be a lot stronger, but really low manpower pool because he hasn't really devved a lot. And yeah, it looks like a Goliath, but he's slowly getting like competition around him. Like VJ, if he plays right, he can compete with him in like 20 years. It's not even that big of a difference anymore. The only thing he's doing like ridiculously well is his income. Yeah, he's the admin hegemon, and if he just pops the hegemon and starts getting the monthly score, I'm pretty sure he wins the game unless someone takes hegemon from him. But I don't see anyone attacking him just to take hegemon.
Sorry, I was sleeping.
Oh, that's fine. We just finished your country though.
Oh, okay.
If you want to add anything, we can go back to it. I'm not fussed.
Yeah, we can go if you want to just go over it quickly.
Sure.
Sorry.
Yeah, alright. Go ahead, tell us what's going on. I wanted to ask what's happening with your buildings and why you're missing so many. Like, because you're even missing many factories. And then on top of that, your dev is a little all over the place because you have like 43 dev in VJ, but then you have like just a lot of provinces that are below 10, so you can't even build old buildings in them. So what's going on there? What's the plan? Like, look at the amount of provinces below 10.
Yeah, that was just I just started getting a lot of admin this admin and dip this round because I was I've been deving with what I've had, but I've been corn so much up until the last 10 years that I haven't had any admin or dip.
Okay, so here's some advice for deving. You want to do mill as much as possible. You pretty much want to put as much mill into dev as possible. You only use admin when you have situations like this, for example, where it's 37 and you want to get it to 40. So whatever you invest, it's going to be really expensive. So you want to use admin to get to 40 to get the extra building slot. Same as for provinces that are on like 19 and stuff like that. Like this province, admin there, definitely. But otherwise, you don't wanna be deving admin that much. Admin is mainly used for the high cost devs. Even on provinces like grain and stuff, you wanna be deving production and mill primarily, especially.
Yeah, recently I've just been deving up to 10 and then I'm deving up to 5 to get those extra building slots.
Yeah, that's what you want to do 100%. But when you're deving to 10, for example, on tropical wood, you want to do like 4, 4, and 2, for example, because you don't admin dev is just completely useless at this point.
Yeah.
And
then I'm at war with GB right now.
Yeah, we looked over that. What's your plans there? Anything that you're willing to share?
Sure. I've talked. Mughals wants me out of the war, so he'll give me mill access. I can take 300,000 troops to Europe and kill them if I want to, unless GB wants to talk peace terms.
I see. That is very fair. Your army quality is pretty good from what we've seen. You don't have a lot of professionalism saved up, though. That's kind of weird since you haven't been at war for very long. Any reason you're keeping your second and third fort line active?
I just didn't. I had money.
No.
I didn't really care.
Okay,
yeah.
But with the money point, though, like you have so much to build.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I would agree with the I have money thing because you have so many expenses. But yeah, we've pretty much gone over everything else so far. I think it's a really strong country, and I think you've done a great job. I just think with both with Malacca and you, if you played it a little more optimally, you could be much stronger, and especially you because you have such a good position. And especially seeing as Mughals is also playing really inoptimally, you could probably rival him, like really easily, if you just like dev'd right. And oh, you already popped your golden euro, so you're not gonna get that discount. But you know,
Yeah.
you can still improve your country a lot. Anyway, we did Mughals, we did VJ.
Check Mughal victory cards real quick.
Oh yeah,
It's
I
kind
didn't
of
check
relevant.
VJ victory cards either. It's very relevant. VJ owns his 1k, his 3 and 2k are on Mughals.
Mm.
Let's check Mughals.
Mughal's 3k is quite relevant as well.
Oof, Mughals 3k spawn on VJ and it cuts off VJ in half basically. It's Orissa. So I don't know what we're gonna see there. And I mean, I've talked to Mughals a little bit, but I'm not gonna, say anything in public.
I mean, it's just gonna be impressive. BJ then.
Is it really? I don't think so.
I think
No,
I
it's
think
not.
they can make a deal, but it cuts VJ in half. What
Oh
basically
yeah, we have a deal.
basically what I told Mughals is you don't need the 3k right now because you're so far ahead in score. I recommended to him just leave the 3k alone. Commonwealth isn't gonna get this 3k either. Just leave the 3k alone so you have a safe flank because it's worth just leaving it alone so you don't piss off VJ at this point because you don't need it basically. That's my opinion at least. That's what I would do. But anyway, we'll see what Mughals does. Alright, Broom got this 3k on Trace on Commonwealth. He has his 1k on Mughals and he owns his 2k. Broom has done a very good job recovering from his situation. He's actually making money now. And it's not all from subsidies, like last time we looked at it. He's still getting some subsidies, but he's making a lot of money himself now.
I think Byzantium nation ruining helped him a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, although to be fair, I don't think Byzantium had a chance against Rome after he got like hit by PLC and me.
Yeah, fair
Does
enough.
that still justify nation ruining? That's not a question for
in
now,
his
is
mind, it wasn't nation ruining. He had a play that he was going for, and he explained it to me. I thought it's a bad play, but I can't really prevent people from making bad plays, you know.
Yeah, it's fair.
Room, he's gone for 90% crownland, but I explained it to him what the proper way of doing it is. So when he fixes this, I think he will spike up a lot, and he can fix it in 1 month basically, or one button. As soon as 61 hits, he hits seize land, and then he just gives something to Amirs and starts selling, and he's gonna have a lot more manpower. He's gonna have a lot more money. Just have a much nicer time than he does right now.
That's what I did at BJ, and I get +8 discipline from that too.
Yeah, and it's not only that. Like I already explained, you as VJ, I think you get 6,500 from selling titles.
Oh yeah.
And that's every 5 years. That equates to 120.
15 manufacturers almost.
That equates to 120 income a month. Like that is just stupid. Like that is so stupid big. For Room it would be less, of course, but it would still be like 1/5 of his income. Which is like, why wouldn't you have that when it's just like clicking 2 buttons like every 5 years, right?
Do you know how it works? How do they calculate that exactly? Is it?
I think
Does your subsidies come?
I think it's based on your development.
Oh, okay.
I'm not.
Because I wasn't sure the fact that because I know trade accounts to your income, but subsidies don't. So I was wondering if my trade deal is hurting me in that regard.
No, I think it's just development. I don't think it has to do with. I don't know. I have to look it up, but I'm pretty sure it's just development. Either way, Rum 5.9 morale, 117 disc, which is pretty good. He went for kind of weird ideas. I mean, I guess it's fine, but defensive this light is a bit, because like the army tradition ticks this light don't really play into account because of how quickly army tradition drops down, and instead of getting 15 morale he could have gone for quality and just gotten disc instead, and artillery compatibility, which are much more important this late on. So I think, I mean, no, I'm not gonna bash on it because it's not a huge difference, but it just would have been better to go, quality.
innovative instead of protectionism might have ironically also been a decent idea.
Yeah, I don't look at other ideas. I just look at military ones. But yeah, maybe military is what matters. Um,
What should be the fourth mill group taken normally? Like if
depends
it's
on the
quantity, offensive, quality.
quantity, offensive, quality. I would probably go for plutocratic because of the manpower and the force limit. Because that late on, like 20% force limit becomes like 200,000 troops, and that's a significant difference. You know. I don't know if I would go chivalric or defensive. Maybe defensive for the morale. You could argue for both, but I would probably go plutocratic.
Gotcha.
All right, back to Rome. A lot of buildings to build, from what I can see. Very good manufacturers, really good manufacturers, and a fuck ton of them. So he can probably like get 200, 300 more manpower just from like looking at it roughly. Maybe even more if he builds all the buildings.
Is Mughals built, by the way?
Mughals is relatively built up, but his nation is kind of shit devved, so it doesn't really, like he has everything except India, and even India for the large part is kind of shit dev. It's all on 10. Anyway, back to Rum. He has a lot of buildings to build. Even fucking workshops, fucking 0.4 ducat workshops. So Rum, another advice here, having 3,500 in treasury is pretty useless when instead you could be clicking these buttons and getting these numbers back, because this is significant. Like this is just gonna increase your income substantially. All these buildings that he has to build, and I think it's not gonna be as big of a problem if he listens to this, because basically through sale of titles, because he has so much crown land, through sale of titles he can finance building these buildings really quickly, and he shouldn't have that much of an issue. I would also start golden era if I was him. 6-6. It doesn't matter that admin is shit, because admin this late doesn't really matter. So definitely start golden era right here and start deving and building up like really hardcore. He's up to tech, and he has enough to tech up. He's up to ideas. So start the golden era and start deving up. The way you want to dev properly is you want to bring everything to 10 first. So all these provinces you want to bring them to 10 so that they unlock a building slot. Then you want to bring the ones that are close to 20 to 20. Like you want to go for 10, 20, 30, don't dev a single province to 4D. It's better to dev like 5 different provinces to 10, because you get the buildings that they unlock. And properly dev provinces are 266, for example, or 488. I'm stupid. Sorry. This would be a properly dev province. Even if the trade good is shit, you don't want to dev admin too much, especially since your ruler is one admin. It's not a big issue. You use your admin on developing the provinces that are on 29, for example, because that costs a lot. So 29 to 30. Stuff like that. That costs a lot. You use admin on that. You use mill and production earlier on lower dev costs. Besides that, Rum allied to Malaya. Oddly enough, I don't know what that's about. Rival to Spain, VJ, and Mamluks.
Yeah, I don't know why he's allied to Malaya, to be honest.
That doesn't
And Malaya is my ally.
That doesn't make any sense, especially as he's rival to VJ. If that's an actual rivalry, not just PowerPoint generation.
Well, he told me it was PowerPoint generation.
Yeah, fair enough then. Like he doesn't have to fight VJ. He diplomatically, I think he needs to talk to more people, because he's really isolated again, and he might think he's in a good position because Busy just died, but being this isolated definitely doesn't play into his well-being too much. Maybe talk to Mughals or Sim for PLC. I think you have to choose a side there, because one of them is gonna split you off soon enough if the other won't protect you. Alright, let's look at Mamluks. Or do we want to look at Busy? Nah.
Yeah, Songhai no longer, now Mamluks.
I don't know if I agree with that choice. Didn't Sonkai get idea buffs? In
Oh, I kept my ideas. I kept my
Oh, did you
ideas.
just switch the song to Mamluks for colors then, or what?
Government type.
For the government, it's a better government. You get a few missions.
I see.
You know, I
Don't
was
you
just
also get some form of buff trigger? I think you do, right?
He also
I
gets
get
cores on all
plus
of
2 in
Egypt.
admin.
He also
And I
gets
got
a bunch
cores
of
on
cores.
Egypt.
Ooh, that is good. Yeah, that is very good because
Yeah.
that's a lot of dev there that you just get free cores on. What's
Yep.
with your? I've never seen this button. Oh, what's with your 94% crownland?
Not having one of these videos last week. No, I'm gonna try and fix it up and get the manpower privilege going for the emirs, and go down to 30, 40. I didn't know that that's what you should do.
Yeah, fair enough. I just gonna tag to me for a sec just to show you. This is how much I'm getting bonus from. It's 72% bonus manpower. Like
Yeah, that would be incredible.
that is that is insane. And plus, I also let the game play out to the point where I can sell titles, just so I can show to Andrew how much I gain. I gain 4,000 ducats every 5 years from selling titles as Austria. That is,
I don't get anywhere near that though.
Yeah, because
and I have more.
Because the lower your crownland is, the more money you get from selling titles.
Oh, gotcha.
When you're
gotcha.
at like 94%, you get very little. If you were pretty low, you would be getting a lot more. I think you would be getting well, if my theory that it goes off of dev is, you would probably be getting around 4,000 every 5 years. That's like a quarter of your income.
Mm-hmm.
So pretty big. Anyway, let's look at buildings. Oof. Oof, oof, oof. Lots of buildings to build. Lots of good buildings to build.
Yep.
Lots of
I've got most of the good manpower ones, but yeah.
Lots of good trade manufactories or production manufactories. But yeah, same as rum. If you play it right, with like my advice, you can build up really quickly because you're going to be getting a lot more income from selling titles, and you have a lot of disposable income to spare on the buildings. I would disable your second fort line because you're wasting money on that. And same as VJ, you think you have money, but unless you're completely built up, you don't actually have money, right? Because that's where your money should be going to. And like I said, a lot of buildings that need to be built. Your country would be a lot stronger if you built up properly. But either way, you got the final African tag for being the last African, seeing as Ethiopia, Kilwa, Congo, Tunis, and Morocco died. So good job on that.
Thank you.
While on that topic, if these two kill each other, and the winner gets final Asian title as well. But
Don't think that's gonna happen.
No, I think they're
it's just a joke.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, we're good allies, and Malaya has
Yeah,
the
you have
navy.
no reason to kill each other. Like it would be stupid.
Like I don't even.
They
think
can't
about
kill
it.
each other anyways. They can't. They just can't.
Yeah.
Then again, VJ took maritime, so I don't know. Drop
But
maritime on nobles.
yeah, I gave him the. It's not a title. It's a mention in the trophy room, because he proactively killed the Africans. He didn't just stand by and finish off as the last African by letting the colonizers kill everyone like last season Kilwa did. He proactively was aggressive and seized his domain, and I like that.
Well, thank you. Yeah, I killed Congo and with VJ killed Ethiopia. So yeah.
Yeah. So good job on that. Anyway, let's look at the war. To summarize my advice, don't think you have money until you're built up, because a nation that's well built up is a lot stronger than this, and you're behind on force limit, you're behind on manpower, and you could just
I've got
generate.
700,000 manpower.
Yeah, but you could be at like 1.5 mil if you built up and you had the nobility. So while it's a lot compared to other countries, you could be rivaling like the two superpowers at the moment, because you have all of Africa,
Sure.
for Christ's sakes, right? So you have you're very, very strong. You just need to build up properly, and
What about his
you have your
victory cap, by
golden
the way?
era. So yeah, definitely get building and deving. Looking at dev, I didn't look at dev. Yeah, it looks like you have a lot of deving to do.
Yeah, I've been trying to get them all to 10, but there's a lot of land.
You stayed Sunni, so that's not the best, but you know, it is what it is now. I don't think you're going to be rebel converting when you have 2,000 dev.
No.
But yes,
What would you expect a Songhai to go?
I recommend everyone goes Orthodox, like 100%.
Even Indian?
Anyone in the world, it's the strongest religion, especially in our
Oh, yeah.
mod. It hasn't been nerfed that much. Like most other major server mods nerf it significantly, and even then the whole world goes Orthodox.
Are
Is
you
Byzantium,
I'm
uh, Is
not
Byzantium
Orthodox in
and
Austria
Africa?
because I had to stay Catholic for the Emperor title. Otherwise, I would have gone Orthodox.
Is Byzantium landing in Africa Orthodox already?
No, it's
They converted all of
they
North
have-
Africa to Orthodox.
They haven't all, but yeah, they have some. They have a couple Orthodox provinces.
But it's too late to convert. Probably.
Yeah, it would ruin your country to rebel convert. Like,
Yeah,
it would take away all of
too
your prosperity. Where's my prosperity? Yeah, all of your prosperity would be gone from the rebel sieging down your country. It would increase your autonomy. It would reduce your what's it called? Religious unity. It would just ruin your country to rebel convert at this point. I think. Usually want to.
And my country's a mess of religions, anyways.
Well, you're at 100% the religious unity, so you're good. Right?
How old is the ruler here? How old is the ruler for Mamluk?
36.
He's young. He's bad, though. I'm going to make him a general and send him off to die.
Yeah, you definitely should. But yeah,
But
Yeah,
before do that,
is,
use
there
corruption, though.
too.
Use corruption.
advice for future campaigns. Like from the moment you see what you're seated on, you want to plan out those decisions. Like what religion am I gonna go for? What formable am I gonna go for? Stuff like that. And again, if possible, everyone should go Orthodox. If not, Mamluks or Songhai should probably stay Sunni, because Catholic isn't worth converting to from Sunni. Maybe Shia if possible. Ibadi is also decent, I think, but Orthodox is what everyone in the general vicinity wants to go for, basically.
Can you look at his victory cards?
Victory cards are on Angola, which does he own?
No, it's Portugal.
Okay. He has one 3K in Ethiopia, which is really good because that's gonna be like you're missing one province from Rum, and if Rum has any sense at all, he's just gonna give that to you.
He's supposed to cede most of Ethiopia to me. I was going to let him keep a couple gold mine provinces in there, and he was just going to cede the rest of Ethiopia.
That's smart. Yeah, if he's smart, he's just gonna give it to you, and you're almost at a point where you can start making African trade happen because you have a decent amount of the Ivory Coast, yeah, and you have all the other nodes under control. Oh, never mind. I didn't see VJs in South Africa. Yeah, that's a problem.
Yeah, they've got Zanzibar and Cape.
You're gonna, unless you have plans for that, you're gonna have to keep the trade deal with Portugal going.
Yeah.
I actually want to ask you what your deal was with Europe
Say that again.
being in the war. Like your deal in Europe was like being in the war and so on.
Honestly, I'm not getting anything, at least from what I can tell. We haven't spoken about it specifically, but I don't know what I would want. You know, I mean, North Africa maybe, but...
No, you don't want shit. You want French course back to France. That's what you want,
No.
man. What are you talking?
That's just a
Is
waste.
Spain co-bellitrated?
Sorry?
No,
I don't think so.
Spain's not co-bellitrated, so yeah, he's probably not getting anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Spain's also not getting anything in, in Europe, and weakening your rivals by like letting them, by not letting them freely expand is a good move, in my opinion. If he sees Spain as a rival. But
How is the war in Europe going? What would
well,
300,000 Indian?
We're coming to that, I guess.
we'll get to that in a moment. I think we're done with Mamluks now.
Yeah.
We can just go to PLC and then we'll go to us.
Very quick question on Mamluks. Do you think it's worth it long term to try to in Spain to the point of earning Sevilla? Like, is there actual return here on earning Sevilla?
Yeah, definitely, because then he can he's not relying on anyone on trade income, and if he kills Spain, he pretty much has the game, because all of this dev is ridiculous. If he can own Iberia, it's GG. But I don't see that happening necessarily. I don't think he should be pushing for Iberia because he's never going to be able to cross, first off, and second off, you have to go through mountain forts when you cross, and Spain has half of France carved up, so I don't know if I would be going for Iberia, but you should definitely try and push for Maghreb and or Safi in Tunis.
But
Mhm.
wouldn't that just destroy his trade deal with Portugal?
Well, from
They
what
still
I've
have a
seen,
trade
they
deal
still
with
have a
Portugal.
trade deal.
Yeah, we're still trade. We're allied.
Yeah, but I mean, if you start going into his land in Africa, I don't think he would.
Well, I think I think it's
What's he
opposite.
gonna
He
do
leaves
about it?
Portugal alone. He can't really go after Portugal here because he doesn't have enough to stab hit Portugal. But if he went after Spain, he can't stab hit Spain because Portugal only owns a couple provinces. If you occupy all of this, you just sit there with those occupations and you can't end the war ever. But Spain's a different story because Spain, I think, has more than 50% here, especially because Spain has forts here too. So yeah. So yeah, general advice: trying to be unbiased. Like if I was being biased, I would tell you to push for Spain, obviously because Spain's my enemy. But that'd be idiotic advice. That would probably get your nation killed. Like going for Iberia is never gonna work out. I don't think so, unless you get some crazy deal with Malaya where he like invests his entire nation into building ships for you. But I don't see that happening. I would just go for Maghreb and Tunis, and then consolidating the rest of Africa because you still have a chunky bit of Congo to eat. You have Ethiopia.
It's my vassal.
Busy. Oh, Ethiopia is your vessel?
Congo.
Congo.
Oh, I see. Well, that's good.
My mark, technically.
So yeah, and even if you just sit and dev, that's probably gonna be the best thing for you right now. Like just sitting,
Sure.
deving, and building, because you have to, like, when you're going to war, you have to look at it. Is it better to go to war than just like doing something else? And at this point, if you can't cross into Spain and if you don't have any other plans to do anything else to win the war, just sitting here in a stalemate isn't really doing anything.
Sure.
So he won't be able to cross because, like I said, he tried twice.
I got stack wiped on that goddamn mountain fort twice.
Yeah, we didn't see fucking the Jigar ships.
All right, let's look at PLC. This is the other big nation, but like I said, if you dev it properly, if you do the estates properly, like he has, contrary to Mughals, even though he has less dev, I think still. Yeah, he has 600 less dev.
I've got to sign up for a work call, but nice talking with y'all.
All right, see, he has double the manpower of Mughals just by doing the estates and deving properly, and I think he built up his nation properly too. Let me see. I mean, I'd imagine so. Yep. Force limit buildings everywhere, manpower buildings everywhere. He has some missing here. I wonder why. Probably because it's like, yeah, it's below 10 dev. So, but yeah, important buildings everywhere. And all of these yellow provinces are low dev because, again, you can't really catch up with everything. But significantly stronger than Mughals at the moment. He's only weaker than Mughals monetarily, but that doesn't really matter because if you have double the manpower and you have 36,000 in the bank, it's just money becomes irrelevant at this point. He can go. Let's do the math on this real quick. See how much in debt he can go. 1839 times how many? 124. You can go 228,000 in debt. So money is not the point of contention here. If they went into war, I have no doubt that Commonwealth would win at this point because it's just such a better built nation. Professionalism up the ass as well. When he drains all of that, he has what, three times?
Oh my god.
3 times what Mughals has.
Also click the mission just for the memes.
Yeah. The mission gives him what, 700,000 more.
Yep.
Like it's there's no contest. It just shows the power of building your nation properly, and that's what I was talking to Mamluks about. Like, you can have a big and chunky nation, sure, like Mughals did, but if you don't build it properly, it's not gonna do you much good in the end, because like the fight here isn't even, it's not even funny how out to balance this is. Like PLC could absolutely roll Mughals. The only problem, and why he says he's discouraged from doing it, is the mountains in Persia, and like who the fuck cares when you have fucking 13 million manpower? Like you can literally assault every fort 5 times and not even like be under 10 million manpower. Like who the fuck cares, right? So
Yeah.
that's about it for PLC. Not much to say. And just to make a point again, he's getting, where's the, does he not have, oh, he doesn't even have the fucking estate privilege for
Isn't it
manpower.
a part of?
He
Isn't it
has
part of
golden
the-
liberty, 50%.
Oh, okay. Yeah, but that doesn't.
He said that was a mistake of his, and he wish he could get rid of it, but he can't
He
because
can't because of the influence, yeah. Well, rip.
Show me his government type. Alright.
Unjustful demands. Tax over manpower, that's a bit weird. I don't. Like you're getting nine more ducats when you can get 15% more manpower. It's a bit weird, but okay. Burger loyalty, which is the right play because you know deving is important, and you know you get cheaper dev when the burgers are loyal. Went for general estates. Yeah, he doesn't really need the states general, and political absolutism. He doesn't need to go theocracy, and it would be bad for him to go theocracy at 3,000 governing capacity either way. Anyway, that's it for PLC. Just sitting here and killing people at random for the moment. I'm just hoping I'm not next in the chopping block.
saying he's bored.
I think your 3K will be.
I don't think I'm gonna be able to compete. But anyway, Austria's next. I'm slowly starting to catch up. Well, not to PLC, but I'm starting to catch up to Mughals. Let's say that. I don't think anyone's ever gonna catch up to PLC at this point. The war's been really taxing. The nation's completely built up. If I remember, yeah, Urs. I think I just devved it up, so the building slot unlocked. Everything else is built up almost everywhere. Just a couple provinces that just randomly got dev during the war. I don't have universities everywhere yet though, because they came out I think about the time the war fired, so haven't really been able to do that. But yeah, everything else is built up completely. 1 million manpower total. I still have a bunch of professionalism to train. Gets me to 2 million manpower, which is, after a war this big, I have half the manpower the Mughals has, being at peace for the last like 100 years. So it's a bit pepega, but you know, it is what it is. As far as the war goes,
Well, Mughals has gone to war with Ching twice.
isn't
in
that
the
an
last.
wasn't that an instant on Kondo?
I mean, the AI was still had like a million,
Oh, he fought the AI,
700,000
right.
troops.
Uh,
AI Ming is somewhat of a beast still.
Yeah, AI in this mod is really good. Iced gave them some, because AI in vanilla has inbuilt limitation that Iced just removed, and the AI in this mod is just much better. Yeah, money not really a thing, because I can go so much into debt. It's ridiculous. What's that, like 130,000 into debt? And I'm only 8,000 in debt right now. The main problem with the war is that Swiss, we just lost this mountain. There was a little bit of miscommunication between me and Swiss, where he had, I think, 70,000 sitting here, and I told him to go in and reinforce, and he took that as withdraw from the battle. So instead of reinforcing with 70,000, he withdrew from the battle and got like 60,000 of my troops stack wiped because they were about to reinforce. And now we're under 50 after we lost that mountain, and that's a problem. The saving grace here is that Prussia is completely out of manpower. He doesn't have any seconds left, and he's going into that much worse than I am. So I'm thinking even if they manage to stab hit out Swiss, I can probably hold out or try and kill Prussia.
What are the numbers in Europe?
The numbers in Europe are on the side of the Western Bloc at the moment, but that's pretty much because of the colonies. GB's bringing in a lot as well, but
Well, yeah, I'm fighting 500,000 colonists in the New World right now.
Yeah.
That's
so,
why I couldn't really help in Europe right now, is because one shot left.
So
I
these
had the
numbers are a
micro
little
left.
deceptive as well because they have a lot of their troops in the colonies as well, I guess.
Same with Mamluks, I guess.
Yeah, there is that. But Mamluks doesn't have that much. Oh, he has 350. Okay, my bad. I thought Mamluks just
I'm
got
just saying
wiped
how.
out.
If I brought 300k, would that just win the war?
Always scapegoating one
Yeah,
shot. Shake my
the
head.
war in Europe, we've had the stalemate in Switzerland for the last like 10 years, I think, and they only
Because I
won
have
this.
the same.
They only
I
won
have the
this
same
mountain.
discipline as Prussia too. So
Nice.
All right, I'll tell you the solution. If you guys stop France, that will drag
France
some
is dead.
attention.
They
That will drag some attention, and
I'm saying
it won't be a stalemate anymore.
the war in Europe is at a stalemate, and they only won this mountain due to a mistake. So any change, like if they manage to bring in 100k, or if I manage to bring in 100k, I think it would tip the balance. But yeah, we're
because I'm under force limit a lot right now too.
both at our limits.
You can easily get 100k Austria. What are you talking about? Slack and
another-
twice, get 100k. Boom.
Yeah, I mean, manpower is not the issue. The issue is that I'm like losing 200 ducats a month, but I guess I can go further into that. Like that's just weak numbers. Yeah, fair enough. I'm gonna double my force limit now. We're all on Tech 21, I think.
Can you check VJ? Am I on Tech 21?
Not France though.
VJ isn't. France is on Tech 20. I'll check France in a minute. Anyway, that's about it for Austria. Let's check Prussia. Oh, I just unpaused the game. I'm a fucking idiot. And we have to load the save again. Cue the elevator music.
Have you gotten over the colonies yet?
No, I haven't gotten to the colonizers.
Okay.
Alright, Prussia, fielding 268,000 at the moment, over his force limit, losing 56 ducats a month, and quite a bit in debt. Like his interest is rising up heavily. He's at 99 interest at the moment. He's getting subsidized by GB for a lot as well. So it's a pretty dire situation in Prussia at the moment. Completely out of manpower, so he's gonna have to start making up soon. No professionalism, and the saving grace is that he already teched up. So he any manpower, any melee points that he gets, he can use on generals to slacken off. And he already got the privilege for cheaper generals, which is also really good because that means that his generals cost 36 right now, which is really good. He doesn't have his golden era available, but yeah, Prussia is on life support like big time, and pretty much just getting kept alive and kept in this war by GB and Spain. And what I don't understand from that is that PLC already got 100% from him once, and he's gonna do that on cooldown. So I don't understand why GB and Spain are investing everything into keeping Prussia alive right now, because they're not gonna manage to defend it against PLC. But that's for Diplo to decide. Anyway,
I mean, I doubt the colonizers are going to take any advice from you.
of course not. I'm the enemy.
Yeah.
It's
Even if you're trying to be unbiased.
I even said the reason why.
yeah, he said because they're loyal, but I'm trying to be unbiased here. Like, I'm not talking as Austria, I'm talking as the spectator. But it's kind of hard to do that when I'm actually in the game. He has a lot of buildings to build, and if he survives the war, he can spike up somewhat. But again, the problem with that is that PLC already took 100% of his victory card and a lot of dev, and I am 100% confident that PLC is just going to keep chomping away at Prussia, especially as PLC got told in voice chat while I was there that Prussia allied GB and Spain as a way to fight PLC in the long term. So I don't see PLC stopping, and I don't see the colonizers defending Prussia from that. That's that's about it for Prussia. I don't think there's much else to say. It's just it's in a bad spot in the war, except they just got 50% on Swiss, so they can stab hit Swiss out of the war. With 50% on Swiss, why can't I? Oh, they already sent the stab hit out, so I can't see what he can take for 50%, but I think he's just gonna take these 3 provinces, which isn't gonna really turn the tide a lot. Either way,
I mean, if I come there, then he just has to wait. How long? It'll take 2 years for me to get to Europe, I think.
He's gonna be hit it up before that.
Swiss has 900 admin saved up, and he's on plus 3
Yeah,
stab.
I doubt it.
Yeah,
Don't-
but he's a public.
Oh, he is a republic. There is that. Does he have the reforms for your cheaper stab ups? Where are those?
Wait, that's
He has one at least.
It's 6. Yeah, he has minus 15%, but that still doesn't add up because republics are pretty expensive to stab up. Swiss sitting at 94% crown land. Like I said to everyone else, just go look at Mamluks, go look at VJ, or not VJ, who was it that had bad crown land? I don't know, go look at Mamluks and fix your fucking estates because this is bad. Really, really bad. At least he took the cheaper generals, which is really good, which means that now that he tacked up, even though he's completely out of manpower, start recruiting generals.
Is he playing?
You get a lot of fucking professionalism, and you get what, like fucking a bunch of more manpower back. Not a bunch, but, you know, for Swiss, it is.
Is he playing Merc, Switzerland?
He's not got any mercs running right now. I'm gonna. Well, he has actually some. I haven't noticed. Yeah, I'm gonna have to advise Swiss between sessions because he's my war ally on how to play better. This is his first player war, and I have to say, seeing as he's my only ally in this, he's played really well. And he's playing versus Ellis Luger and Britain. He's playing against Leo and Prussia, and Rated B on Spain, which has been really unforgiving. And yeah, I have to say, for a new player, for first-time player war in that situation, he's performed really, really well. He's not made.
Yeah.
That's good.
I mean, he was a little bit lucky that now was I biased or not? That I caught him off.
Fired?
No, the France. Spain, I got told that Switzerland was going to declare on France right after, and then try to cut me off and take a large portion of land, which didn't help. Would have been gained, pretty good for him, but unfortunately he didn't. So yeah, I think probably Prussia and the colonizers is going to be his enemy in the future.
Yeah, I don't see how the situation in Europe is gonna play out. The war is really in the balance. Like you're saying, Swiss is gonna get stab hit out, but with 900 admin, even as a republic, I think like when he's at -3, his stab ups aren't gonna be that expensive. I have to check it out though. I don't know how I can induce that here, but is there
why
any
would
way
he
I can
keep?
Try stability -3, minus, stab minus.
stab?
Or like stability -3.
Okay, twice.
There you go again.
And I don't know if this plays into effect right away or if we need the mantic. Yeah, 144. So he can stab up quite a number of times, and he has a 5 admin ruler too. So I think Swiss is gonna stay in the war for a while.
But what would he gain out of it?
Survival. Like you just said that you're gonna be his enemies afterwards, and Spain
he
obviously
gains.
wants Genoa.
He's got claims on Spain, he gains.
Yeah, and he also, yeah, I don't think he can survive if he gets out of this war. As far as his buildings go, he's built up really well. I can't really see because half of his country is occupied, but I'm pretty sure he has everything everywhere. Not gonna look at buildings, whatever. Yeah, that's about it for Swiss for now. And let's go to France, and then we're gonna do GB, Spain, Portugal, and their colonies. France isn't on life support as much as I would think. I mean,
But I need it.
it's getting a lot of subs, but still managing to feel like 200k, which is really impressive.
He is in life support though.
Yeah, he is, but not as much as I thought because his country is like cleaved in half. But managing to stay relevant is what I should have said. He's managing to stay relevant because with 160,000 that he's fielding, and seeing as he can field them for a while, that is very relevant, I'd say. And yeah, he can field them for a while. And at this point, I think his country is dead if he loses the war anyway. I mean, I know his country's dead if he loses the war anyway. So he can start debasing. He can do all sorts of shit to get money and keep this army fielded. So he's all or nothing in on this war. I don't know what the saying is. I'm stupid, but yeah, he has to win this war because if he loses, he's dead. And very relevant, surprisingly. Yeah, I don't think there's much more to say about France. If he wins the war, he survives. If not, he's 100% dead.
How much of his cores can you take back?
Um,
It's a reconquest CB anyways. You can take. You can just click on the map, I think.
it's not letting me. Oh, not controlled by you. Oh. I don't fucking know, man. I'm gonna have to. Are these all your cores?
Yeah.
Okay, the ones in the south aren't. How is this not your core? That's weird.
It just stopped being because it was taking a long time.
I don't think it was that long, but apparently it is.
Probably it was one vassal, and not.
Hmm.
No. I took in the first war we had against France.
Oh, I see. So yeah, you can get the chunky amount back. You can get what? How much dev is that? Where does it say? I guess it doesn't say. That's pretty bad. But looks like a chunky amount to me.
It doesn't matter. It would be a moral victory.
It is like over 200 dev-ish. I think that whatever. You're confusing me. But anyway, if France wins the war, he can survive. If not, he's dead. So that's kind of the conclusion of the whole story. Let's look at GBR. Very large army for Great Britain. He slackened off his entire army professionalism, and that's not good because now that you're over capacity,
He's not gaining monthly.
yeah, you're not gaining monthly, so that's a pretty bad move. You want to slacken when you're about to run out. You don't slacken everything and then sit over capacity. That's bad.
I think he said that was a mistake.
Okay, that's a mistake. Then fair enough. Very high crown length, which isn't completely horrible because now he can sell and earn a bunch more money. Even though I don't think money's really relevant to him.
Still not making that much.
Yeah, because he's subsidizing a lot. And what else is he spending on? Oh, 354 on army. So, yeah, GB should have not stayed political absolutism. Oh, never mind. You get nobility as GB in the mod. Normally you switch to theocracy as GB because you get nobility by doing that, but I think it might be better to keep the English monarchy or is it? That's kind of shit government type.
No, just swap to theocracy is better.
Better to probably swap to theocracy or a republic, because English monarchy is kind of shit. Yeah, you lose the parliament as well, but the parliament's fucking garbage. So, pretty good move overall to switch out of it. Besides that, let's see how GB is built up. I imagine everything's built since he has so much fucking money.
Is Parliament actually bad though? Considering
I don't think Parliament's bad in this mod.
No, it's not bad anyway.
you
Just
trade
no
nothing
ability.
for it, and
Oh, right. Yeah.
it buffs your provinces. It gives you
No,
good
it's,
buffs if
it's-
you manage it well.
I was wrong. It's good because normally when you have parliament you lose the estates, but here you get both. So, correction, parliament's OP.
Yeah, with Parliament, I can get like 1 million men by passing a state edict.
Yeah, I'm correcting myself. Parliament is good in this mod.
Parliament gives you what you need. If you have corruption, gives you minus corruption. If you're in debt, gives you minus whatever you use. Yeah.
He went British
It
ideas,
also just
as we
straight
said
buffs your
earlier,
province.
which doesn't make a lot of sense to me because like the idea groups that he took seem like he's going for a land-based nation. I mean, it is. He didn't take any. He didn't take naval. He didn't take maritime. It just going for British
I don't know,
ideas
I
doesn't
think
make
it's fine.
sense. I think Irish would have been way better. You get morale, you get manpower, you get discipline. Like
I don't know. If he was Irish right now, he would have lost to Malaya in the naval battle, and Spain would have been dead maybe by now. I mean, not dead, but losing the war right now. I mean,
yeah,
Mamluks would
but
have.
if it was Irish right now, he wouldn't be competing with Malay in the first place, and he would have just been eating away at France and Prussia. Like I think he would have been a lot stronger if it was Irish. Either way, getting back on topic. That's I don't know what the topic is. That's pretty much it to say about Britain. I'm confused that he hasn't built everything, seeing as the amount of money he's making. He has silk manufactories, fur manufactories that he hasn't built. As far as his colonial possessions go, pretty standard. I mean, yeah. That's pretty much it for GB. We're just gonna switch over to his colonies unless there's anything else to say that I'm not seeing.
Yeah, last session I was actually spending most of my money on building up my colonies, to be honest. Just
I
so
just
they
need
could
Tech
be
21
more relevant.
back, guys. That's all what you need to know. I need Tech 21 and I'll be start beating armies.
Alright, let's look at English colonies.
I will bail out for now later.
See ya. Vermont has a lot of money in the bank. I wonder why everyone's building up treasuries. Has he built all the buildings?
No, it was an AI.
Yeah, Vermont was AI last
Oh,
session.
which one of these is played?
Quebec and Texas.
And Vermont player is completely gone, or?
No,
I
I
believe-
just couldn't make it.
Okay.
Okay.
Last session.
Alright, so we're just gonna look at Quebec and Texas then. So yeah, Quebec, pretty decent income. Let's see if he's built up his country okay, looks like he has. He built everything up, which is really good. A lot of money being produced in trade here. And he's collecting though, which... Yeah, I don't know if you want to be having a merchant here collecting, because instead you can just put the merchant somewhere else and let GB leech more of your trade, and then he just subsidizes it to you as a trade deal. It's kind of inefficient like this, but either way, like, money doesn't really matter for you guys, so it's kind of irrelevant. Army wise, 162 force fielded right now, over force limit. He has some professionalism to burn, decent amount of manpower when he burns off professionalism. Good ideas for a colony because he can't go quantity, so pretty good choices. Yeah, Quebec doing really good. What is he doing with his army? Just fighting in two fronts. I don't know, some people can handle this, I really can't. When I have like 18k in Europe, and then he has 36k in Europe, and then he has like 100k in America. Like, I don't know how people can handle like focusing on two separate continents at the same time. I would rather have focused everything at the same spot and just focus on one,
We
one
just
front.
tell them whenever stuff's happened in Europe and they switch.
Oh, you can also just what I do with my colonies in other games normally is I just have them attached to my armies, and then they can focus in the war in America, So that might be a thing to do, seeing as he only has 36k, so just attach it to like a small army of yours and
Yeah, that was my problem this session. Is I wasn't planning on microwing the New World. I was planning on letting One Shot do that, but he left
yeah,
because of issues.
yeah, that's a problem.
Yep, that's
But-
on me.
Anyway, let's
Yeah,
look at
it's not
Spain.
his fault, but yeah.
We'll look at Spain and then Texas.
I don't blame him for it, but it was just the reality.
Spain out of manpower, but again, he's up on tech. He's up on he's not up on ideas. So
Oh,
No.
damn.
I think here's the
So much
dilemma
like
then.
in that war.
If it's better to go recruiting generals or going up on ideas, I don't know. Either way, I think you should. I think you need to get rid of one of these. Probably right of council or monopoly. I don't know, and give them the discounted generals, because this late in the game, the discounted generals start to play a lot. Start to come into play a lot. Because when you finish quality ideas, you're going to be wanting to recruit as many generals as possible to get your professionalism back and then start slacking. But are you fielding mercs right now, or?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So you're
How's his income? I see he has loans.
he's going into debt only slightly. Income is relatively strong, but he's probably getting subsidies from GB and Portugal soon. None at the moment. Oh, he's getting 80 from Portugal right now. But yeah,
That's
that can
only
probably
trade deal.
increase.
But I also get the treasure fleet.
Oh, how much did the treasure fleets bring?
Around 1,000. Yeah.
Yeah, 1,000.
Ooh.
That's chunky. Yeah, Spain, kind of in a similar position to Prussia, where like they're almost out of the war, but they're on the winning side at the moment, so they can push the advantage. The problem is that France joined the war recently, so that's gonna cause a lot of upheaval, and we'll see what happens. Why do you have war taxes going?
To not go into debt. Like I'm feeling so many troops anyway, so
Is that worth it? Like, is money really effective when
He
you're
does.
allied to GB and Portugal?
because he's
I-
stopping
No.
Prussia.
I don't know. I mean, GB has almost 1,000 income. I don't think losing milk points is worth it over them like increasing the subs. To be honest.
Especially when you don't have a finished idea group.
Yeah, that's not very good. But either way, quantity, offensive, quality, good picks. How the fuck do you have 6 policies here? What the? Is that a
X.
Spanish thing?
Yeah, one extra, and then
Cool.
protectionism.
Yeah, looks like you picked all the right ones. All right. That's about it for Spain. I mean, there's the war to look at, but at the moment, the war with France just started, so there's not much to see there. France has a morale advantage, but Spain has a military tactics slight advantage, so I don't know how that's going to play out. Also, France is like again on life support, and when these Brits start pouring down, I don't know how that's going to go. But
He's going to be out soon.
yeah, I don't
Do you
think.
think France should go max loans?
Probably yeah, because these Brits are gonna occupy his country in like a couple months. So you want to go max loans before you get occupied because your loan capacity is gonna reduce.
I mean, all he has to do is just lose 2 battles, and we can stack wipe. Because
Yeah.
then no more forts to hide behind.
So France isn't gonna stay in the battle for long unless he like gets lucky battles here. But even so, Portugal's reinforcing pretty hard. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. It doesn't look very promising for France. It looks decent for Spain, but not great. Again, trying to be unbiased here, I don't see the purpose of keeping a death war basically at this point, going for Prussia's sakes, because Spain doesn't get anything out of this war. GB doesn't get anything out of this war. In fact, GB would profit out of killing Prussia because they would get the rest of Lubeck, and it just like at this point it's a death war. It's no longer just a minor conflict. You're all out of manpower. You're all going into debt slowly. You're all like losing 50 years of development and like other expansion in this war, and it's just I don't know. It is what it is. Not 50.
If you want to focus on
Force
this war,
to tell our
come talk
enemies,
peace terms
peace
with.
out.
If you want to get out, if you want to focus on this war, come talk peace terms with VJ.
Which war?
If you want to focus on the Prussian war or the France war, come talk to VJ.
I
Or
mean,
peace terms.
I'm not giving up any Portugal land though.
Any what?
In the Portuguese land.
I just don't want Europeans in the Indian Ocean.
All right, let's. Seeing as we're done with Spain, just victory cards on France and 3k on Britain, but I don't see that coming into play. I didn't see the British ones. Britain got its 3k on Commonwealth, so there is that.
Rip.
But yeah, I don't see that really coming into play here. I don't really think any of these countries are gonna be in a position where they can really play for score. Great Britain's getting a lot of ticking score from its colonies and shit,
Colonies.
but it's not gonna get the 3k, and that's gonna make it fall behind because and being in this war for so long, it's also gonna ruin its score while everyone else is just gonna everyone else significant like Mughals and Commonwealth is just gonna keep going up. Anyway, let's look at Texas real quick, see how he's doing. no oh, did the colonies get victory cards now?
Yes, but
Huh.
they don't activate unless they're independent.
Huh, that might be because he has Texas tag instead of like colony tag, but
No, in 13C and S26 I got victory cards. But I like occupy one of them and it doesn't do anything.
oh right, okay. Texas really impressive army size. Um, I don't know why he has 40 cannons, but the force limit is not force limit. What the fuck is it called? Combat weight is 34. Is he? What is he doing with them? Where's the cannons? Oh, it's a merc stack. All right, never mind.
Can I rant about how technically Texas is rule breaking by having provinces in California?
Does he?
Or
have
with like
provinces in
27 or
California?
something? I'm almost certain he does.
I don't see that. Are you sure?
No, I'm pretty sure.
He doesn't. Okay.
It doesn't look like it.
No, he doesn't.
There's no rule break. I made sure to go over the map after the game and make sure there's no rule breaks with the colonial like.
Did you get rid of
Expansion.
Louisiana's colonies? And
Yeah, I gave them to Great Britain.
I think you should just get rid of them because he wouldn't have been able to colonize them in the first place, and Great Britain wouldn't have been able to colonize them.
Great Britain can colonize through its subjects.
You can't.
No, you can't. You can't colonize inside your colonial borders unless you have direct borders.
Okay, fair enough. That's a staff discussion. We can talk about it afterwards. But yeah, I might have to get
Okay.
rid of them. That's a good point because he can't colonize them himself. Anyway, for Texas, pretty impressive army size. Losing a lot of money though. Fuck me. I think it's because most of his army is mercs, and I don't know why his army is mercs. As a colony, you'd think he had more professionalism built up because colonies can just sit there and drill for the entire game.
No, I mean I've been in war. Spain, his overlord has been in war
Yeah.
since the beginning.
Oh, I
And
see.
the reason
can't drill
why
in
he's
Europe.
burning a lot of mercs is because shipping it all the way depletes like half of it.
No, but he has mercs
it's-
at home. He has a merc cannon stack at home. He has 40k mercs.
Yeah, but that's because the
Okay.
VJ war started.
Yeah,
I see.
But can I ask though?
Yeah.
Wouldn't it make sense to like let colonies take land if it's done conquered through a war?
We thought about it, but
Also-
we decided not to. That might be a thing that I might change in the next season, though.
Also, can you make it so that colonies can actually drill in their overlords? So, or is that just going to be a
I-
big debuff so that
uh,
if you have to transport across the Atlantic, it's just
I can't. I don't do any modding, and Ice isn't available, so that I don't
Yeah.
know if we're gonna be able to do that. Maybe Mitch can make that happen. I don't know.
it's just that because we can't have provinces near our overlords. It's like
Yeah, I know.
we have
it's,
to ferry them across and everything. And we
Yeah,
can't
that's the
drill
problem
them
I've had
anyways.
with 13C, which is sort of a balancing thing too.
Yeah, I don't know. We might.
Like I
we
see
might
it
be
as
able to fix that.
maybe a balancing thing, but it's also kind of a thing.
Anyway, it's about it for Texas, except for his buildings. Let's see what he's done. Missing a lot of them. A lot of them. I guess he hasn't had the time or money to build them because of the concept wars. But yeah, Texas can be a lot stronger if he builds up properly. All right.
Wait, have you looked over British North America or? no?
Yeah, I did. It was just Quebec
Okay.
because Vermont isn't played.
Yeah,
You
no,
missed it by
that's one.
30 seconds.
Quebec build up fully. I think the one advice.
Yeah,
I
no,
have-
I'm Quebec. That's why I was wondering.
Oh
Sorry.
right, yeah. The advice I have for Quebec is, you have a lot of tax provinces.
Yeah, no, I know, but
And you should get rid of them, especially if they, like, if you don't have manpower, if you don't have force limit, you get rid of the tax and you build manpower, force limit, or production. So like,
yeah,
for
I've already
example-
gotten rid of some of them.
Okay.
But,
Yeah, that's about it for Quebec. Quebec's
but I'm
built
also
up
spending money
perfectly.
to like people who need to avoid bankruptcy. So
Yeah, Quebec's built up perfectly, and that's why it's got so much more income than Texas, even without like all the gold provinces. So yeah, Quebec's
no.
not good.
Well, Texas
because
doesn't
Britain
get gold
is
income.
feeding his trade through me.
Sorry.
Britain is feeding his trade through me. So unless because he didn't tell me, I asked if I should change my home node, and he said no. So
Oh yeah,
why I'm
that's
making
another
law.
thing I said. You should probably do that. Change your home node, and let Britain steer everything from here. Just change your home node to Hudson Bay, and let Britain
Yeah, but that
steer.
stops a lot of the trade from Hudson Bay from coming. So I was thinking maybe Ohio.
Yeah, but it's only
Yeah, but I have less control in Ohio.
okay. Yeah, good point. So probably Ohio. Move to Ohio. Let the GB like steer everything out, and then subsidize you the money back, basically.
Yeah, I know. But yeah.
All right. Anyway, let's look at Portugal. Pretty decent navy for Portugal. He's gone, standard Portuguese ideas. 100% crownland. Again, don't agree with that. You should. I don't know if people are doing it on purpose, but I don't see the point of it. You should probably look it up on the Mamluks and on the Mamluks part of the video and see how to do crownland properly, because you can get a lot more out of it than you do now. See if it's built up. I expect, yeah, fully, because it's such a small country.
Now that you pointed it, I thought about it when you spoke about it in the Mughals or Vijay. I don't know the country now.
Okay, yeah, it's fair enough. And a lot of people don't know how to do crownland properly, but it's really important. Most of the army is in Europe.
Is his army relevant?
His army is not extremely relevant, but for the war with France, I think it is, because he's fielding around 100k in France or in Europe, and that's gonna be able to
Or
hold back
cannon
the French.
fodder, man.
Portugal
has
also
he-
has decent quality.
Has he been getting mill ideas? What mill ideas does he have?
He hasn't. They're not that great, but they're not horrible
Okay.
either. Portugal also has artillery compatibility, so that might come into play. I don't know. But yeah, as far as Portugal goes, Mamluks being this strong, VJ being this strong, kind of cucked you out of Africa, and that's a big problem. Normally, as Portugal, you want to rush for Asia as soon as possible and just like start chomping off whoever's weak here. But you've been kind of pushed out of there because everyone's been so strong, basically.
Asia is for the Asians.
Asia's really strong in this season. But either way,
Like in-
Portugal
on
has really good colonies, so...
The problem was on the first session, we death warred both the North Africans and France. So I couldn't, and then I went bankrupt, so I couldn't colonize anything until like 1470.
Yeah, and then you lost like your colonial players, so that kind of weakened you as well. What colonies do you have now? It's
It's
Colombia?
Brazil and Colombia.
Okay, we're gonna look at Brazil then first. It was
They-
played last session, right?
They are mostly built up economically because I did that, because I was not investing it on the military buildings there, because the AI does not move out of the
Yeah, the AI doesn't move out of the New World, so yeah.
doesn't move out. I even had to
They-
have one army there to fight rebels because their armies don't fight their own rebels.
Yikes.
It was
But yeah, now that they're played, hopefully the players can do something with them. But seeing as they haven't been played for long, I can't really be doing a lot of commentary here. Brazil has his island hopping is going for Japan. That's impressive. I don't know why that is, but yeah, he has 40k in Texas, so that's relevant. But besides that,
He tried to land on Australia.
Oh,
but we
Australia's a
repelled him.
player. Why didn't you tell me?
Yes.
Shit, we're gonna have to go back to Australia afterwards.
Australia and Cascadia are both players.
All right, we're
Alright,
gonna do
I
Colombia.
told them
and
just
Australia.
to unsiege the island. I didn't tell him to invade anything.
Colombia much in the same boat. I think he's got like all the relevant production buildings. Not making as much money as Brazil, but they can both be built up quite heavily. So if they get any like period of peace, they can probably. Can colonies go golden era? They can. right?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
So if they get any
It's
period of
hard for them.
peace,
They can't. It's hard for them to get in the Age of Absolutism.
Hmm.
They just need to. They need to get their force limit to 200,000 to make it viable, pretty much.
yeah, but I think they can though, because like he's missing a lot of force limit buildings, like all of them, I think. So probably possible.
Yeah, especially when you get the +2 force limit buildings.
Oh,
Better
he
cut
has
them.
quantity though, so this is gonna have to get safe fixed, and then he's gonna lose
Oh,
a lot
yeah.
of force limit. So
What
That's
you
a
said, as I spoke, as I wrote on the prefix chat, we spoke. You wanted quality,
Right, yeah, I'll fix that after the video. Alright,
but I told him to not pick quality, to be stay fixed, so that
Yeah, so he doesn't lose
gets the
points.
full idea.
yeah, of course.
No, but he gets the full idea quality instead of getting defensive full idea. But you said that yeah, the quality already, but the ideas were from GB, not
Yeah.
not Colombia.
All right. Let's look at Cascadia and what's happening here. Oof, no army to speak of.
He was AI for
Oh.
the second half of the
I
session.
mean, country
I mean, also-
literally came into existence during the session. I ate 400 worth of dev off of AI Britain.
Yeah,
Right.
Great Britain didn't notice that he was
I
attacking.
mean, you couldn't really protect it because it's like
Yeah.
a colony war.
Yeah, well,
Right.
he could intervene, but
So yeah, I'm not gonna stick around here. I mean, unless you want me to, but I don't see what.
I
there's-
can, because I'm Quebec, so I can say what's happened on that front. I don't know if you've already heard what
Go for
happened.
it.
Essentially, me and Texas pushed up to like the edge of California,
Mhm.
and then VJ landed with like 100,000 troops and just beat us back.
Yeah.
I think
see
And
you guys
that.
then-
underestimated
No,
the
actually,
quality
he
of my
came
troops.
first, then we beat him, then we went up, then he came back. And if you go down,
Vijay
bet in
coming here
Texas.
with what?
Yeah, but
60
if you go
cannons?
down in
63
Texas,
cannons. Why 63 cannons?
I think
it
it's
was
because
just-
it's a lot of attrition, and we've
Uh,
sometimes you
it's
actually lose some
because
cannons in
I
battles.
I brought an army from the Japan, and he joined like the battle directly from the ships.
All right.
But what I can also say though is if you look down in Texas,
Yeah.
further down, and then if you zoom in on the like coast there, there's like where the rebels are.
Yeah. What's up?
There's 2 forts there, I think.
Yeah, he got a stack wipe.
Yeah. So
over
what
there,
is he?
so I
He took
the first
Tepic
fort.
and then went right to Colima. So we managed to siege Tepic before he got Colima, and then we stack wiped him with 100k,
Yeah, that's
which is quite funny.
But
That
I
was
think that's
my-
why he doesn't have that much professionalism anymore because he had to like rebuild.
no,
like,
I don't
I
think
didn't-
100k hurt him that much, to be honest. But
It didn't really. It was just because I was microing in the New World when you guys did in India when you guys were doing that.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's
but you
a
still
smart
don't have
move.
like a lot of professionalism though.
Yeah, I
Like
don't really know
8,000.
why. To be honest, I haven't spent any professionalism on. I haven't selected.
Have you
once
been
this
drilling?
week.
at
What's
all?
really annoying is the fact that Vijay
I've
has
been
like
I've been at
shit.
constant war with everyone.
Vijay
so I
has like
haven't been
such
drilling.
good quality through like both government reforms and
Yeah.
like estates and such.
I just if you brought 2 cannon stacks in here instead of like 63 cannons, because 63 doesn't make any sense, you would have been able to wipe off the colonists like really easily, because they only have like 2 cannon stacks too. But right now you have a cannon stack and a half basically, and they're just gonna be able to outmaneuver you a lot. So
Yeah, I was recruiting more.
Yeah,
I've been recruiting.
next
more.
session,
anyway,
Bond is
let's
gonna come back in.
look at the last country, Australia, the most relevant country in the world. 66 income. Is he doing anything with his armies? Oh, he's in New World, like a good colonist. This is why I advise the guy not to play Australia, because like
His units against Indian tech, right?
I don't know. Oh
Look
yeah, the Connie, yeah.
Get the
Yeah, they are
unit
there.
tech from the Overlord.
So he's got
Okay.
the yeah, but yeah, Australia is just Australia. Like it if you play,
I mean, unless you're the friend of the Overlord, you don't really want to play it.
yeah, you don't. I mean, he's having fun, so I don't mind. Whatever. But like it's just it's not a very entertaining nation to play. Like I recommend playing every other colony, but with Australia, like he has everything here. He has, I think he's built up as well. Like
I
pretty-
built him up pretty good.
Yeah, he's built
That's-
up, like he just needs the manpower and some manufactories. Like he's built up really well, and he's still not very relevant. Like that's why I'm saying, like every other colony I would recommend people play, but Australia is just kind of meh,
I mean,
Yeah, I've been
they have the meme
I've been
from, like,
prioritizing building up my colonies just so they have more fun,
Right.
so they can do more.
But he's having fun, so I'm not gonna whatever. If he enjoys it, I'm happy for him. Anyway, that's it.